Welcome to Lifeword's Day by Day. As we continue to look at 1 Corinthians chapter 9, I want you to notice that Paul gives two reasons why he lays down liberties. The first one is stated in verses 15 through 18. He says this, "If I preach the gospel, that gives me no ground for boasting, for necessity is laid upon me. Woe to me if I do not preach the gospel." When Paul speaks of boasting in this context, it's not a self-congratulatory boast, but rather a boast in the gospel, a lifting up of the gospel, a spotlighting of the gospel. So what is his boast? Well, Paul tells us that his boast is not that the gospel was preached by him. That sounds strange, doesn't it? Why wouldn't Paul boast that the gospel was preached? Well, Paul doesn't boast in this because he says that his preaching was by necessity. It was his job assigned by the Lord. It was his responsibility. The Lord arrested the Apostle Paul on the Damascus road, arrested his heart, and gave him a specific, direct job to do, and Paul was compelled to do it. And so he says in verse 18, "What then is my reward? That in my preaching I may present the gospel free of charge, so as not to make full use of my right in the gospel." Paul's boast is the laying down of his rights. His reward is the laying down of rights so that the gospel would be crystal clear, with no hindrances, so that no one might say, well, Paul's only saying that stuff so that he can get a paycheck from us. And the reason you would lay down liberties is the same, so that the gospel would be crystal clear, and so that no one might perceive of an ulterior motive. Now, people will always put up their own stumbling blocks, but we as ministers of the gospel are to remove any stumbling block that we might put up. Our reward would be to say, we did this the right way. We fulfilled our calling in a way that was glorifying and honoring to the Lord. We sacrificed to show that the gospel was above all liberties more valuable to us. When you pray today, please remember Larry Wood and his family, our missionaries in the Ukraine. And also remember the Fair Lifeword broadcast that's heard in Burkina Faso and Ghana.